Hey y'all, it's our money and you guys are watching Intellect the Lifestyle. So you guys, today we are going to be talking about isolation. Isolation can be draining, like literally. It can be so draining because it's like you literally asking yourself, and not even yourself, you asking God, why am I isolated? Why do I feel alone? Why do I feel lonesome? Like, why do I just feel like it's just me and nobody else in this season? So y'all, James 1 and 5, it talks about having wisdom. You know, a lot of times we have to sit down and we have to pray and ask God, like, okay, why is this an isolation season for me? Like, why do I feel so isolated in this season? You know, really sit down and pray and ask God, why is it that I'm in an isolation season? And you really have to sit down and ask God for wisdom, because a lot of times we can let our feelings to overtake us from what the Lord is really trying to do, or blind us from what the Lord is really trying to do in our lives in that isolation season. So y'all, I want to give y'all a little of my story and, you know, how I really got through my isolation season, and how how me being isolated literally led to purpose. So for me, it was literally to the point where the Lord isolated me for like 4 months, literally. And starting from the beginning, so for a while, the Lord had been calling me to take a break. Like, He had been calling me to take a break from music, from people, certain people, from just everything that was taking my eyes off of Him. So me, I was like, Lord, I can't take a break right now. Like, I can't go on a hiatus right now. Like, I'm really trying to push this music out. I already been gone for, you know, a little while, you know, and I felt like my music and stuff was really starting to, you know, go somewhere finally. And I'm like, Lord, I can't take a break from music. When it comes to friends and people in general, I'm like, them the people that been here for me, you know what I mean? Like, these are the people that I need in my corner right now at like the worstest time of my life. And the Lord was like, no, I need for you to take a break. So knowing me, I was a little disobedient. I ended up not taking a break, and that's when stuff started to fall apart. That's when I started to lose myself. That's when I felt like I didn't have no identity no more. That's when the love of my life, like, I ended up getting ghosted. Different friends and family, they started showing their true colors, and at that point I just felt so alone. I felt like everybody just had played me, and I had played myself too, due to my disobedience. So I finally ended up taking a break this past summer, and when I finally did take that break, it was more of a me versus me moment. I actually started to go to my prayer closet, and because I had changed my closet over into a prayer closet. So I ended up getting me some sticky notes, markers, crayons, y'all know the whole nine, pens, paper. And I ended up turning my whole closet into a prayer closet, to the point where every time the Lord would show me something, because I have the gift of prophecy, so the Lord be showing me stuff, a lot of stuff that really don't make no sense. But then when it actually start happening and I see it, I be like, okay, like, I'm no longer, like, God, I'm no longer questioning what you done showed me. So yeah, the Lord started to show me a lot of stuff. So I started writing it down. I started really just going to my closet every night, worshiping, boohoo, crying, like, just really going through it, man. And I'm like, Lord, like, why am I going through this? You know, like, I know that I don't really went through a lot, and I know you called me, you know, to this hiatus, but why am I going through all of this right now? And the Lord started to show me that in order for Him to elevate me, and in order for me to go higher, I had to let go of the people that was around me. I had to let go of different habits and stuff that was holding me back from purpose. And so as a month and a half rolled, like, after a month and a half went ahead and rolled on by, that's when I started to find myself again. I started to look in the mirror and be like, hey, like, I don't recognize this person no more. Like, who is this woman? You know, and the Lord started to show me, like, this is why I called for you to go on a hiatus, to the point where now it's just me and you. Because a lot of times, y'all, we can literally be around so many different people that it can start to close our ears from the Lord, especially when you're not around the people that is leading you towards your purpose. And that's how it was for me. Like, I literally had to be separated for me to be able to find myself and God again. But like I was saying before, you have to literally sit down and you have to pray and ask God for wisdom on why he allows for certain things to happen. And I literally sat down and I asked the Lord for wisdom on why, like, Lord, why am I in an isolation season right now? Why am I like closed off from the world, I felt like? And the Lord literally told me, he was like, Armani, like, I had to take you away from what you was familiar with and bring you to me, because you was literally putting other people above me. And I was like, okay, God. Like, bro, I was scared. I was scared. I was like, okay, like, yeah, I'm glad you did isolate me, because that's not good, you know, like, I was scared, y'all. Another reason why he had to isolate me was due to me having no identity, because for a long time, I had no identity. Like, the things, like, y'all ever just sit down and think about last year, like back in 2023 or years past that, and you just sit down and look at, like, you go through your camera roll and all these different things, you just be like, bro, like, I really let people play with me. Or you be like, bro, I'm really just in disgust with this girl, especially when the Lord started to show you who you really is in him. Like, you would just sit there and look at your camera roll and stuff and be like, bro, I really don't know that woman, or I really don't know that man. Like, who is this? And I had one of those type of moments, you know, like, I was like, bro, I really did not have no identity. Like, the stuff that I really let slide, I would never let slide now, you know, within my personal life or just in general. Like, and then on top of that, I had a blurry purpose. My purpose was very, very blurry. I knew what the Lord was calling me to do, but it was blurry because I was listening to other people over God's voice. A lot of times, y'all, the Lord literally just be wanting to get us alone, because he knows when he just makes it where it's just you and him, he's the only voice that you can hear. And the Lord will literally put you in an isolation season to literally realign our hearts to be in alignment with his desires and not our own. That's why I said in the beginning, y'all, like, with that scripture, James 1:5, when it's talking about to ask the Lord for true wisdom, so you can have an understanding of the why. Like, why is the Lord calling me to a isolated place, or whatever the case may be? And the Lord started to show me that he had to isolate me because he was trying to do a great thing and a great work inside of me. Y'all ever sit down and pray for different things to happen over in y'all lives, and you think the Lord gonna give you you think the Lord gonna really give you the prayer like right away, or you think that the Lord just gonna answer that prayer, but Lord end up making you go through a whole nother season of something else just for you to get that answered prayer? Yeah, that was me. Lord literally took me through a whole isolation season, and really I made that isolation season longer than what probably the Lord wanted it to be, due to me being disobedient, due to me being like, hey, I need to really focus on what I need to focus on right now, because if I take a step back, I don't know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, I really let my isolation season be longer than what it had to be, due to me being disobedient. And y'all, with that being said, if you feel like the Lord is literally calling you for an isolation moment / season, please go on it. Please let the Lord do what he want to do within you, so he can answer the prayer that you've been praying about. Because a lot of times we'll sit here and we be want to fulfill our own desires instead of God, and the Lord be seeing it. The Lord knows all of his children. The Lord know you inside and out, and if you don't let the Lord do what he wants to do, then you're gonna end up messing up everything. You're gonna end up not even getting to your purpose, and you're gonna end up serving or doing something that the Lord didn't even intend for you to be at nor do. I know it can be hard. Trust me. I know it can be hard feeling alone. You know, I know. And that's another thing. The enemy will literally try to put thoughts and stuff like that, or lonesomeness of you being alone, or of you feeling like ain't nobody hitting you up because you're not good enough, or they got other stuff going on. Like, the enemy will put so many different things in your mind during that isolation season. Like, I know, y'all, he will literally put so many different things in your mind, and you'll be like, bro, what is going on? Or you'll start believing the enemy. You'll be like, okay, like, maybe he right. Or you'll start believing your own thoughts, you know, because a lot of things don't be the enemy. Some of these things be us too. But don't believe those things. Don't believe none of that. Just let the Lord do what he's going to do in your isolation season. Because literally since I've literally been in my isolation season, I really feel like I'm still isolated now. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I feel like the Lord literally got me off of the map right now for a reason, and I've been loving it. You know, at first I was scared of the isolation, but now that I've literally went through it, I've started to embrace it, because I'm seeing the great things. I'm seeing a new community. Like, I'm seeing so many good and purposeful things that's coming out of me being isolated. So get out of your feelings and get over in your bag with God. Thank y'all so much for tuning in for the first episode on this channel. I'm gonna be doing a lot of stuff on this channel that is very much so faith-filled. I'm gonna be giving y'all lifestyle, like so many different things that is literally just helping y'all on y'all journey. And you know, I'm not a perfect being, but I strive every day to be more like Christ, and I just want y'all to do the same. So thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all turn y'all post notifications on to all, man. And I really just want this to be a channel filled up with just everything that is going to help us to grow closer with the Lord. And I want to be able to give y'all advice, any questions that y'all have about being isolated in this season, or if you feel like the Lord is calling you to just be isolated right now, like, drop y'all questions down in the comment section. Like, I'm here to answer any questions and any concerns or anything that y'all might have. So I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, and make sure you stay tuned for the next episode of Intellected Lifestyle.